Hey guys, this is FPL Tips and welcome back to another Fantasy Premier League video. In this video, we'll be discussing and addressing questions ahead of Game Week 24. We've been asking you guys to put in your questions on our Instagram channel. So if you want to take part in this Q&A, please go follow us on Instagram and check us out there. And we do this every week. Also, if you like this video at any point at any stage, given stage, or if we answer your question, please hit the like button. Really pushes our content to other people. That being said, and that being put out right away, we'll start with our first set of questions and we'll straight dive into it. So the first question comes in: Bulls defender. What do we do about it? If you have someone like a Bueno, I think it's a hold. He looked very solid and very good when he came on as a sub. So I think in Game Week 25 he should start, and I would take that chance. Otherwise, if you had to buy someone, Kilman is something on my list. Someone on my list. I think Kilman is also doing decent. He's possessing decent threat as well. I think I would keep if I have to buy given at that price point. I would go for Kilman. For captaincy, I'll discuss captaincy at the end because there are a lot of captaincy curated questions. So I think I'll discuss captaincy once and all for the at the end of the video. Best 8 to 6 million attacker. I think given the price point, I think Odegaard, Martinelli stand out. Apart from that, Madison has emerged as a decent option. Just to Bond, but Madison, I think Barnes is a better option given Madison that we're discussing because Barnes has out. He's not been perform. He's actually underperforming his XGI by a margin, and Madison is massively overperforming his XGI over the period after the restart. Madison is about 1.24 xg, where Barnes has accumulated 4.6. So that is something you might want to take into account before buying the Leicester assets and looking forward. Madison has become fairly popular, but people are ignoring Barnes. Should I keep Shaw in my team? Manchester United have Leicester, who have just won 4-1. I don't think that should really keep you away from Shaw. I think Shaw is playing very well. He's defending well. He's good on attacking returns. He's been getting attacking returns, and he's getting very good on bonus points as well. So I think all in all, you should keep him at least till the game week 25 blank, and then you can maybe think of selling him. Shaw for Tarkowski, can I upgrade Martinelli for Odegaard in 25? So if that allows you to upgrade Martinelli to Odegaard, I think you should do it. And or the sideways move in general, if that allows you to make the sideways move, do it. In general, Shaw to Tarkowski can be done in Game Week 25 and Tarkowski alone because he's good on set pieces, he's good on goal threat, and he has a fixture in 25 and 28. Which city defender do I take this week? So this is a conundrum that a lot of us have with a lot of different city defenders. I think most of us have Akanji, Ake at this point. Nobody owns. Some people own Walker, very less people own Rico Lewis, and some people probably own Laporte. Given the minutes fact and rotation that can be possible in the game weeks coming up, I think it's better to own someone from either Laporte or Akanji. I still feel these are the primary two players who will play maximum minutes. Diaz could be one of them again, but I don't know for sure because he's just come back from injury. If you have someone Ake, hold him for the next two, and then you can reassess again. Walker and Rico Lewis are genuine rotation threat. I wouldn't really bank on them playing a lot of games. How many hits are okay for Game Week 25? I think if you're getting in players who play in Game Week 25 and 28 both, I think the hits are justified because you're getting two games from them. I think a -4, at max a -8 to field in 11 is decent. What to do with Liverpool assets? This is a very popular question that came in this game week. Liverpool assets are necessity because they double in game week 25, and Salah looks like getting back in form after scoring last game week as well. So, in terms of Liverpool assets, I think there are three primary assets that people are looking at. One is Salah, the second is Darwin, and the third is the slot between Gakpo and Jota. I think avoid Firmino, Jota, and Gakpo at this point because they are minutes risk and rotation risk because we don't know how will the players that are coming back from injury will be put into the team. Will Gakpo continue to play and take minutes, or will Darwin's minute get affected? So at this point, I think the least affected in terms of minutes is Salah, and the next is still Darwin. I think Darwin, since he plays the left wing and the central role, I think he's pretty much secured that. A lot of people are still looking at Trent and Robertson. I would say avoid because they didn't look very defensively good at this point again. Yes, Virgil van Dijk is coming back. It could massively improve their defense, but I don't think you should jump on their defense again. They've throughout the season, even with Virgil van Dijk, they've defended very miserably, and I think the trend will continue. So it's better to avoid Trent and Robertson and rip apart your teams to just fund them. Keep Bruno for 24 or replace with Mahrez or Madison. I think Mahrez could be a good replacement. Just a caution there because I think personally Mahrez will be benched one of the next two games, given the fact they have Champions League around and the fixtures are very easy for City. It's very likely that Mahrez will be dropped. Also, tactically, City approach these games with a 4-4-2, where Mahrez is usually dropped and Alvarez is played up top with Haaland. So, very likely that Mahrez does not play one of the two games coming up. But irrespectively, given his form, he's one of the best City midfielders to get. So, you take the lottery ticket. Over a long period of games, I think Mahrez will still start 3 out of the next 4, and that should pay off. With Madison, I would stay cautious and wait till 25 because yes, the next two fixtures could be dicey for him. If you don't have any other option, then you should probably consider Madison slash Barnes. But again, Mars is a priority to sell Bruno for that too in game week 25, not in 24. Should I transfer on Newcastle and Manchester United players because of the blank gaming, or should I bench them? Now, there are certain players that you should definitely bench. I think Trippier is one of them and Rashford is one of them. Irrespective of what the fixtures are, irrespective of if they're blank or not, they're good picks and they're great picks to hold on throughout till 28 or till your wild card. Other players like Bruno, Shaw, Almiron need to be transferred out because they blank and you eventually get players who have fixtures that game week. Especially Bruno to Salah, something very popular. Almiron is tricky because if you can bench Almiron in 25 and still field an 11-player team, I think it's better to do that and then sell Almiron for a Mitoma or March or McAllister in game week 26. That sets you up better overall. Should we wildcard this game week or play triple captaincy? I don't think you should either wildcard or triple captain this game week, especially. How did Trent not get the assist for the second goal? Absolutely no idea. Could have been a situation just like the VR. So can't really say anything about the Premier League at the moment. We'll move on to the next set of questions. Yep. So the question says Almiron to Andreas. I think it's a very sideways move. I don't think it's necessary. You play Almiron this game week. He can score against Liverpool. He did have a goal last week as well. So Liverpool are not defensively great again. Andreas might be a sideways move. If it's for a free and your 11 is set, if no other fires, you can consider it. But again, if you have other fires, you put them off first. We've discussed Liverpool players again in depth before. Replacement for Bruno, I think it's Salah. It's hands down Salah. You hold Bruno till 25, and the next game week you sell him for Salah. Players to focus on each game week for the next 4 weeks and try to build a strategy. I think the strategy has to be either wildcard in probably 27 or 29, probably even maybe wildcard in 33, but you have to build a strategy and then decide when you free hit. For the next 4 game weeks, I think this game week you prioritize players who are having a fixture next game week as well. So Arsenal, Chelsea, those assets have a fixture. City have a fixture, so you hold them. Next game week you try to sell players from United and Newcastle and get in players from Liverpool. I think that's the strategy, popular strategy, or Everton, who have a fixture throughout, and Liverpool specifically double, and Everton have decent fixtures in 28 and 25. 26, I think safe. 27, you target Brighton and Brentford. That should be the meta strategy going for the next 4 weeks. Obviously, this will change for every team as your team structure will be different and your chip strategy will always be different. But again, if I had to just pin down four teams or maybe four odd certain players for the next 4 games, these would be those players. Prep for blank gaming 25. I think just sell United and Newcastle assets at priority. Not all, but again, as we discussed earlier, sell certain Newcastle and United assets, and then you can move on and get players who are not blanking that game week. Also, take care that if you can get players from teams who don't blank in 28 as well, that would be more beneficial. For example, Chelsea, Arsenal, Aston Villa, Everton, such teams. Do I get 2 double game week players in this game week and take the -4, or roll and do 3 next game week? I think roll and do 3 next game week. Rodrigo and Almiron to Somerville and Gakpo slash Mudrik. Rodrigo and Almiron to Somerville slash Gakpo. Gakpo again could be very risky, so maybe you want to look at Darwin and someone else. That would be an option. And between Gakpo and Mudrik, I think Mudrik should be avoided. We don't know if he's nailed on at this point as well. So avoid. Gakpo again could be nailed on for the double game week, but again going ahead will be a huge risk. Somerville on the other hand did catch my eye last game week as well. He had 2 big chances, he missed both of them, but he's constantly putting up numbers and could be a consistent starter for Leeds. So something you might want to monitor. But again, he could blank in 28 depending on what the result of the FA Cup game is. So something you want to monitor. What is the best chip to use this game? I think none. Don't use any chip. Just save it. By Joao Felix. Now, a lot of people asked us about Joao Felix. He did catch a lot of eyes in his last performance, and yes, he was one of the best players from Chelsea that game. But do you want to buy him right now, or do you want to wait and watch? Personally, if you're someone you have someone really trash in your team, and you want to sell him, I think Joao Felix is a good option. But if you have someone like a Mitrovic or a Kane, who you can hold probably, or someone like a Darwin who can hold, I think hold those players and then reassess Joao Felix in the next 2 game weeks and then buy. Kilman or Tarkowski? I prefer Tarkowski for his goal threat, also because he has a guaranteed fixture in 28. So I think Tarkowski. Should we use a free hit? Not this game week. Probably aim at using it in game week 28, 29 or 32. Those are meta strategies of free hit. You can look at your team and we will come out with a video why you should do it and what could be the potential chip strategies. But as of now, save your free hit as long as possible, at least till game week 28. Get Joao Felix or stick in with Tony blank in the double game week. I think get Joao Felix for the next three, and then you can switch him back to Tony. It would be very tough to navigate the blank otherwise, and the fixtures around the blank are not that great as well. So I think the fixtures for Tony look like they play Crystal, they blank, Fulham, Everton, and Southampton. I think it's decent given the fixtures, but again, the blank is very tricky to navigate. If you can bench him, then I think hands down bench him and don't get Felix this game. Should I get rid of Mitrovic? He's only on my bench for now. I think you should hold Mitrovic given the fact that he's a decent option. He massively underperformed his XGI last game. He hit 7 shots, 3 big chances. Should have hold. I think hold for now. He's decent fixtures coming up as well. So Fulham play Brighton, Wolves, Brentford in the next three. I think hold till then, and then you can reassess. You can probably hold till then and sell him for a Tony in 27. Again, captaincy at the end, who to pick for struggling managers but can't use the same players as everyone else. So you can go differential. So at this point you can probably look at Iheanacho, who's on a streak of form, or maybe Barnes, who's looking good. So you will have to identify first the good teams and then certain players which are not very popular. And even if but I would suggest don't go extremely differential. I think go stick template. What helps you with the template is that have 10 template players and one differential. So if the differential kicks in, you still gain rank. But if you're still template, you don't lose rank at least, and that should be helpful going ahead because it's important to hold rank as well. Two best Liverpool players. Two best Liverpool players for me is Salah at the moment, and still I think I would go Darwin. Given the short volume he's still getting, I think Darwin. But personally, just go Salah. I wouldn't recommend buying Darwin for sure, but those are the top two on my list at the moment. I think Liverpool players are a opportunity, especially Salah. He could really hit form and he could be a captaincy option that gaming. So yeah, they're an opportunity. They have the double gaming, they have the fixture. And why not? They can potentially even have a fixture in 28, so we never know. I think it's a genuine opportunity there. Do I take hits so that I'm less affected for blank gaming? Don't take massive hits. I think -4 should help you set up enough, decently enough for game week 25. I don't think more than -4 is required unless you're massively restructuring your team for a -8. I think -4 is the max you want to try. -8 might be too much in that blank. It's not that big a blank game week that you take a -8. Best defenders right now looks like Shaw. Shaw at the moment looks like one of the best defenders. James has been catching up. So people who are not observing, he's playing about 60 or 70 minutes and he's being good. So James could be a very good player going ahead. I think Tarkowski again, he's putting the goal threat. So he's one of the options that I like. Is it worth selling Botman and Mitrovic for Tarkowski and Felix for a -4? Not this game. Botman to Tarkowski is a good move. I think Mitrovic to Felix can wait. Free hit 25, and who are the best players to target over the next few weeks? I think next few weeks you want to target the Brentford and Brighton players because of the given double. Salah is one of them. Liverpool players you want to watch out and maybe find a differential there. Free 25, I don't think is the best strategy given the fact you want to maximize game week 28, 29, and 33 going ahead. 32 will also be a blank. So free hit 25. And also our teams are very well set up with three Arsenal, Kepa in goal. There's Man City players. So you have Fulham players. So you're very well set up in terms of fielding at least 9 players for game week 25. So you don't essentially need a free hit. Even if you try to free hit, the players you get on your free hit will be the same players. You'll get three Arsenal, you'll get probably Salah and Trent plus maybe Darwin at max. You'll get another Chelsea attacker. But the team structure won't be massively different, or team players will be will not be massively different. So you still have about 7-8 players same in your free hit team and your current team. I think with two free transfers you can achieve what you want in your free hit team by free transfers alone. Bring in Salah, removing Kane and Almiron. I would do it in game week 25, not this game week 25. Who should I keep from teams that blank in 25? I think Mitoma, if you have, it's a keep. Trippier again, Rashford. Those three players are keep for me. Is it perfect to wildcard this week? I don't think so. I don't, and it's massively wrong to wildcard before game week 20, at least before 27, because you'll have absolutely no idea who doubles or blanks in 28, 29, 33, 32. It's better to just save it. At least till you have information and then you can wildcard. Firmino and Jota worth it? I don't think so because they're huge ministries. They're coming back from long injuries. I don't think they'll be put into the team directly. They'll be eased in eventually. I think they might also be prioritized for the UCL competition rather than the Premier League. I have 5 players in my squad not playing in 25. The best way to tackle this: to United to Newcastle, one Brighton. I think bench the Brighton, bench Rashford, bench Trippier, and the other two you sell. Transfer in Kilman or to Botman or roll for 25. I think maybe over Kilman Tarkowski, but I think you should transfer in someone and sell Botman. When is the best time to use my chips? I think given the time frame from 27 till 33 will be the best. 34 technically will be the best time. Those 7 8 game weeks will be the best time to use three chips: wildcard, free hit, and bench boost. So save it till then. Mitrovic to Felix is something we've discussed massively. I think again I said hold this game week, at least hold. Start Nick Pope or burn Leno in goal. I think I still prefer the Newcastle defense going ahead against Liverpool. So start Nick Pope. He will do decent, and I think in general, even if Liverpool have been still putting up a lot of shots, so in terms of even save points, I think Nick Pope goes ahead for me. Martinelli to Saka, good move. I think it's a good move. Again, we've talked about Martinelli and his minutes issue, and that will keep happening if Arsenal are not winning, or maybe game management. If they want to change tactics, he'll be the one who subbed off first. Again, Martinelli is hands down a sell. Thoughts on Almiron? If you can sell for a good player, if you don't have a Mahrez or a third Arsenal, or maybe Salah, you can do it this week. Or if you don't, bench him. You can get Salah next week for maybe a Kane plus Almiron swap. If not, bench him if possible. Bench him 25 and then get Mitoma. Other options are Barnes and Madison, as we discussed earlier in the video. Is Wolves defense a good option? It's a decent defense. I don't rate Wolves as a very high defense. It's just that if you get a Wolves defender, you get an extra fixture in 25, maybe a risky fixture in 28. You get absolutely no goal threat according to me. So that's a caveat there. Best Manchester United Newcastle replacement preparing for the blank game. I think we've discussed this a couple of times. So yeah, I think still it stays Arsenal, Man City, and probably someone like a Leicester player. Get rid of Bruno, De Bruyne for Salah, double game 25. If I have to prioritize someone, Bruno out for Salah, yeah. Not De Bruyne, because De Bruyne still has a fixture. Bruno doesn't have a fixture, he blanks. Do I bring in Mitoma if I have Kevin De Bruyne, Odegaard, Saka, Rashford, and Mahrez? I think not till 26. Beyond 26, yes, because he doubles. And Mahrez and De Bruyne both will be massive rotation risk. Saka, Odegaard, and Rashford are pretty much nil, so you hold them. And Saka, Odegaard also have a fixture in 28, so hands down hold them. But Mahrez and De Bruyne definitely don't have a fixture in 28, and both will be massive rotation risk. So going ahead, game week 26 or 27, you can sell them. Bring in Salah, remove Kane and Almiron. Yes, I think yes. What does it mean to dead end your team in team and I have no wildcard or free hit left to play? So your team essentially means when you say dead end that you bring in players. Let's say you're dead ending your team at game week 28. You get in players only looking at game week 28 and not beyond that. So let's say you can sell a Haaland in game week 27 because he blanks in 28 and it won't matter. You can sell in someone like in Cancelo or Kanji, all these big players that you would not sell unless you have extreme value attached to them. You would sell them and then you would rebuy them again in 29 on your wild card. So that's essentially what dead ending your team means. If you don't have a wild card or free hit left to play, I think save your moves as much as possible. Get long term players. So players who will stay for long. I think Rashford, Arsenal guys, try to maximize the double gamings as much as they can, but don't rush for the blank gamings because you'll always be in a tough spot. I think fielding 9 players for a blank will do well without a free hit and wildcard. Prioritize on the double more because that's where you can gain points more often. McAllister, Mitoma, or March in what order? I think as of now it's Mitoma, March, and McAllister. But if Lalana is out for about 1 month or more till the end of March, I think it becomes McAllister, Mitoma, and March. So pay close attention to what Lalana's injury update is, how long he's injured for. Because if McAllister continues to play in that number 10 role, I think he's hands down one of the best options. Would you bring in Madison this game week? He's kind of fixture proof and scores in a streak. He's not essentially fixture proof, but he is a streaky player. So if you have someone like an Albion you want to sell, you don't have other player options to go to. I think Madison is a decent option. Maybe Barnes could be better. So you can figure that out. The numbers say Barnes, but again, Madison, yes, he is a streaky player. So I wouldn't be surprised if he continues to score. I think the fixtures are also decent. Again, Arsenal, he has a record. He does Leicester do decent against Arsenal. Manchester United, this game week could be tough. It's away from home. But game week 26, 27, I think are decent. Southampton especially. Beyond game week 28, 29, I think they are must have because the fixture run is very, very good. I still have Salah is really worth keeping. If you still have Salah, I think it's best to hold him and keep him. I think there's no doubt that you need to keep him given the fact that he has a double in 25. Going forward with only 9 players and wildcard and bench boost left, what should be the strategy? I think wildcard game week 29 and beyond so that you can bench boost well. Starting getting in Chelsea players for double game weeks. Their double game weeks are far off in game week 29 and 34. Don't target them right now because even in 29 they might have a double game week which includes Liverpool, which is almost a deadlock game for us. So I would say, as of now, don't aim for the double game week. Just get in players based on their merit. So I think Jao Felix and Kepa should be enough. Keep an eye on James. Should I get Odegaard for Bruno? Hands down, yes, I think. Should I get rid of De Bruyne for another City midfielder like Mahrez or Stick? I think you should, but just caveat, Mahrez could play less minutes than De Bruyne, but again, I think Mahrez is outperforming and he's playing much better. So you shouldn't get minutes into the equation. I think Mahrez, even with less minutes, is outscoring De Bruyne, hands down. The problem with De Bruyne is he's having a decent XG. He's about accumulated 5 XG since the restart, but he's created decent chances. He's created 6 chances, 2 big chances, but he's not taking enough shots. He's not closer to the goal. So that makes me uncomfortable owning him. Also, he shares set pieces duty at times, so I don't think so. He's a good hold. Bruno, Ake to Mahrez and Estupinian, or should I bring in Felix for Darwin? I think Bruno and Ake to Mahrez and Estupinian should be a good move. Estupinian, maybe you can get him beyond 25, and I think should I get Felix for Darwin? I think you should hold Darwin for 25. This is probably not the perfect week to wildcard if someone is asking. I think we have answered that, and we have the last set of questions. I think why start White or Trippier? I think given the fixture, I think you start White and don't start Trippier. It could be it could be a tough one. You ought to start Trippier and then you want to start White as well. I think that could be the deal. Maybe bench someone else. I think if you have a City defender, you ought to bench them because with the rotation, it's better to play guaranteed players. But 50-50, honestly, if looking at Newcastle personally, I wouldn't be very scared benching Trippier this game. We've discussed massively about Liverpool assets. There's no chance to keep Almiron. The only chance is if you can bench him in 25 and then sell him again as soon as possible for Mitoma or someone like a March or McAllister in 26. I think the go-to Wolves defender is Kilman. He's cheap, and if you have to go for someone with a goal threat, I think Dawson is looking good. Burn transfer on Cucurella to James, I don't think so. Sell Cucurella for someone else. James could, again, he'll be subbed off very early on, so you might be into a trap where you are getting 1 pointers. Tony Rashford short Trippier home to sell for blank game week 25. I think you can, if you can hold Tony, yeah. Shaw should go and hold the rest 3. So out of the 4, sell Shaw and hold the rest 3. Keep or sell Kane, keep for this game week, and can you sell him again in game week 25 for someone like a Salah. And we are almost there. I think we have to discuss about captaincy. And in regards to captaincy, I think it's better to captain Haaland. I don't think he's going to miss out the game. I think it's fine. He'll get restricted minutes at Arsenal if there is a problem. I think it's hands down captain Haaland. If Haaland is maybe not fit or not pass, I think captain someone else from City, which could be a Mahrez or a De Bruyne. You ought to go there. And the third choice would be Rashford. So it's Haaland, Mahrez, and then Rashford. Don't worry about the City rotation. I think it's an easy fixture for them, and you ought to target them. There's hands down no reason to not go for a City attacker this game, especially against Nottingham Forest. So yeah, if you have them, you can look at them. Also, I didn't mention this, but if you're looking at a City replacement, City midfielder, maybe Gundogan and Foden should be on your radar because they look like options which could be doing good in the game weeks ahead. Especially Gundogan, given that Silva is now playing in a inverted left back role. So yes, Gundogan's minutes are increased and potentially Ake's minutes are decreased because of that reason as well. So yeah, about that's about it. That brings us to the end of the video. If you stay till the end of it, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you like our content, we will be doing this more often. So let us know let us know a suggestion how we can improve this. What content do you want out there? And also, if you have team specific questions, if you have something related to team, rating your team, comment that down below and we'll answer that. That's about it. This is FPL signing off. See you in the next video. Cheers.